Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is nice to see everybody. My name is Chris. It's been a while since I've seen you on Animal Crossing. Welcome to my island of Atlantica. Now this is going to be my pastel Christmas island, which is going to hopefully seem like it takes place underwater. So kind of think like Sally's Dome, I guess, from SpongeBob. Be lots of bubbles and all that sort of stuff. So that's what I'm hoping to achieve. You can already see Judy walking through the back. Let me show you the map. Now, I have not filled in any rivers yet other than a land bridge to get over to Nooks, which just upgraded. I haven't knocked anything down yet. I have just been collecting items and doing that sort of stuff. But we have Kevin, who is one of my starters. He's the only starter who is not here anymore. Cherry just moved out. We have Dizzy, Sprinkle, who is staying. Coco is not staying. She's cute, but she fits more on Halloween Island. Judy staying. Fang staying. Whitney staying. Kyle is not staying. He was my smug. I did not realize I had 3 wolves. But that's where I am sitting right now. The only villager I can really think of that I 100% want to get is Julian. But other than that, I might get one of the octopi. I don't know. Maybe Marina. Unsure. But that is what the map is looking like with nothing knocked down. I actually really like this map. And so you can see Yellow Airport, not too keen on it, but I like the distance from airport to resident services. So today we are going to be working on my entrance, and other than some weeds, which grew in while I was time traveling around trying to get Nooks upgraded, we have a completely blank slate. I knocked down all the trees on this main portion of the island. And we are going to recreate my autumn entrance build, the train station. So I'm going to do something kind of like that. It's going to be lots of pink, the blue and white castle walls, you know, some of the festive items, customized in white, you know, the ruined pillars, that sort of stuff. So I am hoping I don't think it's going to be too horribly big in terms of going way far back. But I'm going to set up some terraforming right here because I want there to be like a road kind of overlooking resident services. Because although this is going to be underwater, I do want to do like a town core-esque type deal here for 25 days of Animal Crossing, which I guess I should have welcomed you guys to right away, but that's alright. That is what we are doing for today. I'm going to send you guys over to Voice Over Me. And I hope you guys enjoy the build, and I will see you at the end for the outro and the beauty shots. And much like normal, don't have goodbye, so I'm going to send you off the greeting. I will see you guys in a bit. Enjoy!
And here we are. Hello guys, it is VoiceOver Chris joining you now from my computer chair, snuggled up with a cat right behind me. We are going to get started on my entrance. I'm just starting with putting down a whole crap ton of pathing, starting with some stairs. We'll swap into some pink, like, tiles, railroad tiles. You'll see all of it once it jumps forward. It was far too much to be able to just, you know, speed it all up. This video still would have been an hour. So there we are. I am finishing putting in the water tiles, which I absolutely love, since of course this whole island's concept is being, you know, underwater. So that is the whole flooring for our train station done, and thus begins the back and forth from my storage. I apologize again for all the back and forth, but unfortunately my ADHD brain just does not allow me to pick everything all up at once. Because I will get overwhelmed, I will lose things, I will forget things, and nobody wants that. So I have just grabbed out some castle gates. I grabbed out 4, 2 for each side, 2 for the train tracks, and that was me standing there trying to figure out exactly where I wanted them. And then another one for just right next to the stairs on either side, again running around trying to figure out placement. Of course, this is all sped up because I really didn't want to do that to you guys of me standing there for a while figuring it out. I ran to the old spot where my storage was. The forgetfulness begins early. Now we're going back into my storage to grab all the castle walls. As you can see, I'm using the blue and white ones. I was thinking about using the pink, but with the road codes and stuff I have picked out, it was just too much pink. I do like pink, not all that much, but I do like pink. It was too much for my eyeballs to be able to handle. So we went with the blue and the white. I like how it looks with these codes that I'm using, and you'll see how well it looks with other codes as we get further into the island. And I had to go get my towers that I forgot about, because I forgot the walls themselves don't just, for lack of a better term, butt up against each other. There is that odd little spacing. And then it was time for my wide display stands. These are going to be the inner walls, quote unquote, of our station. I do go back and eventually and put castle walls along the back in an archway, because I think I made this an odd. I don't remember. It's fine. As you can see, I'm trying to figure out how this is going to work, because there we go. Because I needed the 4 stairs, or the 4 tile long stairs down at the bottom to lead up to 2 display stands with the windows facing me. So that took a second to figure out, but we got there in the end. I'm just going to plop all of this down. That was a wall. That wasn't what I needed. You'd think I would learn to read before I would put stuff down. And I do go back later, of course, to deal with the weird gaps in between the walls, towers, and the display stands. But for now, we're just putting up everything else, mirroring it on the other side, except I ran out of walls. So I had to run and go get those because, you know, why count? Who counts? What's the point? Chris doesn't math, okay? Chris is terrible at math. But anyway, got the rest of my walls and just racing back over. I very rarely actually, you know, walk, quote unquote, in this game. I just always run everywhere once I figured out how to sprint in Animal Crossing. I didn't know for the longest time, and I was running from some wasps, and I'm like, I really wish I could run. And my husband looks at me, he goes, press B. It's like, are you kidding? I was still a very new gamer when I came into Animal Crossing, but here we're grabbing the walls for the back of the building, scrolling through, grabbing another tower, and then I did grab a medieval building side because I was going to try that to see if I liked it with the blue roof, and you will see me try it out, and I went around, looked at it, decided I didn't really like it. I mean, I do like the blue medieval building sides, and I'm going to use them somewhere. I just don't know where yet. And the roof doesn't look bad, but it just didn't quite fit with everything else. And I go to the other side to try the walls. Decide I like that better, so you know, that comes down. This is where I realized that I prefer the walls. So we race back around and start adding them. I don't remember why I ended up pulling that one down. That was dumb, but you know, hey, it's me. And I just went ahead and pushed them all the way up against the display stand, so that way you could see the tops from over the top of the wide display stands. And you'll see me here in a minute realize that I need a gate, because you can see the spacing as I am putting up the walls is weird due to that gap on either side with the half space in between the tower and everything else. So start putting the walls up from the other direction to figure out exactly where I need the gate. So I have 3 walls on one side, 2 on the other. It's not even. I wouldn't be bothered to try to have 3 and 3. I was just going to make this build far too large, and I need the space on either side of it for other builds. So we just put the gate in, and from inside you can't even really see the archway, so you can't tell that, you know, that's really like towards the top of it. So it just worked out. I wasn't gonna worry about it, and you saw my time skip a little bit. That's where I had Final Fantasy XIV raid, so I had to step away for a couple hours. Just basically paused my recording and came back. So, of course, time skipped ahead. And here we are now pulling out some fencing. This is for down towards the bottom of the build because I did not want to completely block it in with walls. For me, that just makes it too suffocating, for lack of a better word. I think for a second, I was thinking about making the steps smaller, decided against it. This build was a bit of a cluster, to say the absolute least. And I was coming off of recording a battle for Final Fantasy VII video that I've got recorded, so my brain was all over the place. We're grabbing out some ruined decorated pillars. I'm going to be using these things a lot all over the island to kind of really, you know, sell home that underwater, you know, feeling. And I'm going to use the broken ones too. I actually have found, you know, an island theme where I actually can use the broken ones, because the last time I used the ruined items, I didn't use broken ones at all. We run off to get a camera app I needed, or not the camera app. I had to order some items. So as you can see, we popped out of my house just pulling out the plant partitions because I didn't have enough. And just gonna go ahead and open all of those and put them all away because, again, but and then we're going to order some codes. I'm going to skip ahead of this because nobody needs to see this, so we're in and we're out. I don't even remember what code I was getting. I think I got a oh, I remember the stained glass thing for the simple panels on the back of the wide display stands. I got a green one first, you know, kind of thinking for that underwater color, but once I put it up, I didn't like it. It was too much of a Grinch green instead of like that sea green. So for the, you know, I guess almost fairy core mermaid side of this whole thing, I guess, you know, it's underwater, it's Christmas, it's, you know, mermaid, fairy, but whatever. I went ahead with this purple one that's got the blues and the pinks, which I really liked. And then, you know, I stood there for a minute. My husband actually needed me, so I raced over into his game room for a second. He's just right next door. So I wasn't gone for long, but it's a little hard to cut out all of those bits. There we go. And we're gonna get these put up, and this is where I figure out what I'm going to do with those empty spaces. I'm just gonna cover them with simple panels. I don't think I put it in the video, but I do go back and put bubble machines back behind those simple panels and those empty spaces just to add some more bubbles. I think I did it in between the build and the a few more simple panels because I want them to go all the way over to the windows, because the windows are of course going to be ticket windows. Gotta have some place to buy your train ticket. So these customized, and then we will be good to go. I normally cut out most of these bits, but I was just on such a roll with editing and everything. I'm doing my voiceover now, obviously. I just decided to go ahead and leave them in between, you know, texting my husband, which actually, you know, I retract my statement about going to his game room because I forgot I filmed this on Monday. And he was at work, so he was above ground. So I was texting him for his lunch break, which he should be above ground here in a bit. I am pre-recording at least most of these videos. I don't know if I'll pre-record all of them, but I do work full-time in retail, and oh my god, has it been getting insane. It has been stupidly busy, but 'tis the season. Here you can see I'm customizing the simple panels with the window design and then the ticket window design. So that way, of course, like I said, you've got some place to buy your tickets. And I love this ticket window design. I used it in my autumn entrance, which, I mean, obviously that island didn't get any further than that entrance. I will attempt to do something like that island theme again next year, but this is where I realized that I want those simple panels to be black, which means a trip to Harv's Island. So we're there and we're back. And Daisy May, of course, is, you know, around to show us her snot. Ugh. I used to work with kids. I saw more snot in those years than I wanted to see anything else. Well, we got our simple panels up, and now it is time for the rest of the decorations, which includes more ruined pillars, some broken ones, more of the Christmas or some of the Christmas items are going in. I say more like I've used them already. I haven't. But we're using ornament table lamps on top of these. All of the ornament items are going to be in the pink pastel customization for this island. And I don't think I'm going to have time to do another Christmas island where I can use them in different colorations for this year. And here I am getting started with the bubble machines. I've got one behind each ruined pillar. I prefer to keep them, well, I'm going to pull out broken ones. I prefer to keep them hidden. That's just a me thing. But I do both sides of this whole build. I just mirror everything. For some reason, I really like my entrances doing that. My Maplewood entrance was a little bit like that, but once we got to the street and everything, it changed a little bit. Oh, hello. There is a cat on my lap. Please stay away from the microphone. Thank you. Please sit down. They've been all over me since I got home. The joys of working full-time. Yes, I know, you want snuggles. Lay down. We also have the shell lamps on top of the ruined seats. I think that's what that's called. And then I tried an ornament garland, didn't like it. And I went with the illuminated snowflakes, which I absolutely prefer. I just feel like it adds some more light into the build. I like when all the illuminated items, glow. I will go back in later and put down the other shell lamp. I just completely forgot about it until almost the end of the build. Now I am grabbing another thing of illuminated snowflakes because I didn't have enough. And just ignoring the, you know, other shell lamp that is in my inventory. Like this, I don't even know. Getting out a big festive tree to small festive trees, and this is where we're going to start kind of bouncing back and forth a little bit from the back of the build and the front of the build. Because I cannot stay in one spot for long. I can't do it in real life, I can't do it in games. Final Fantasy XIV, I'm all over the place. Final Fantasy VII, I got Cloud everywhere, especially with doing quests. I'll run instead of fast traveling through games every once in a while, because why fast travel when you can run and explore, you know, the same areas I've seen 50 times? Why not? Pulling out a gift pile, another ornament garland, so that way I can... Yep, that's where when I needed to match it up to the other side. And then the gift pile in front of the tree. It's sitting on the stairs. Who cares? Plain Party Lights archway. I absolutely love that item. And here's where the small festive trees go. I do like these in pink. I've never used them in pink, actually. The last pastel island I kind of did with all these items. No, I take that back. The last island I did with these items was, let's see, Hallowmas last year, which was half Christmas, half Halloween, which of course I used everything in the red colorization. Customizing an illuminated tree, which I prefer in the white pastel customization. Snowflake, standing there for a minute again because I was texting my husband. He was headed back underground. But Snowflake, everything was supposed to be blue, so I really didn't do much with the white customizations on anything except for the illuminated tree, because I'm sorry, the rest of the customizations for that thing are far too bright, far too kidcore for me, and I just don't think I've got kidcore in me. I would love to try it out, but I just don't think I have it in me. You saw I tried the cherry blossom branches. I do want to use some of the cherry blossom items. They unfortunately just didn't fit quite right there because the spacing for that item is a little weird. I know it's like 2 spaces, kind of either sits right on one space and eats up like half of another one. Actually, it might be a tile and a half. So it's kind of weird. But they will get used actually in my next build, which I am actually quite excited about. Unlike Evergreen, which I did post a kind of mood board type thing for it onto my Twitter. I think I posted it to my threads. I don't remember if I put it on Blue Sky. It definitely was on Instagram. Tried to decide if I wanted to use Atlantica or Evergreen for my 25 days of Christmas. And I ended up going with Atlantica. But yeah, Evergreen was going to be everything in the red customization on all the Christmas items except for those illuminated trees because, again, everything's too kidcore. I'm still kind of bummed about not doing Evergreen. I was 2 builds in, but that's okay. Now, 2 islands. I tried that last year, or not last year, 2 years ago. Yeah, no, it was last year. Take that back. And it was just too much. My surgery feels like it was so long ago. It's like the entire month of January, December into January was a freaking fever dream. As you can see, I'm just placing some plant partitions, some more bubble machines. I'm going to try and get myself back on track here. I'm going to try and get myself back on track. Oh, man. Who knows? We may get to the end of the month and I may just stop with the voiceovers and start putting music. You know, I may run out of stuff to talk about, but it's retail, you know. I have all kinds of stories I could share over these builds, and I may do that for a couple of these. Not all of them, but I could share, oh, so many, like, entitled shoppers, the lady who made the mess of the bathroom. I think you guys would get a kick out of that one. You know, you never know what's going to happen in retail. And that darn bubble machine popped into the top of that pillar, and then I kicked away the code. Why am I like this? Why am I like this? But got the bubble machine where I wanted. Standing to check on the build to make sure everything is going how I want it. Thank you, Kat, for bumping into my headset. I apologize if anybody heard that. He really wants attention right now. I think he's also trying to tell me that it's past dinner time because I still haven't eaten dinner. But that's okay. There's a frozen pizza with my name on it in the freezer. So I'm back to my storage again. This time I'm pulling out a couple of broken ruined pillars and some little tabletop festive trees. Those little ones are so adorable. Some more bubble machines. And then back inside the build once I could find the opening of the gate and stopped running into the walls. And bubble machines again, going back behind the pillars, back and forth, back and forth. There's a lot of back and forth. Did not quite realize how much there was when I was working on this, but anyway. Got the ruined, broken pillars in their spaces. Again, checking to make sure everything is looking good so far. Have not placed the tiny tabletop trees yet, because why would I? So we're back to the storage to grab some ruined seats, and here's where we're going to put those up top. And they just look so adorable on top of these pillars. I think they're so cute. So again, with the ruined seat, broken pillar, and ruined decorated pillar combo, I really like how this combination looks. It's got it slightly different from in the back, and then I'm back into my storage. This time we're grabbing some hyacinth lamps, both in purple and blue. I don't think I will use the yellow at all, but I do plan on using the purple and the blue. So we got the purple there, and then we put the blue on the floor. I just think that adds a little bit more of those mermaid colors of, you know, pink, blue, and purple, because there wasn't a ton of space in this build for any shell items. I do eventually add a few, well, other than the shell lamp, I will eventually add a shell bed and some partitions, but that's really about it. My next two builds are going to have more, well, not the next one. Next one will have some, but the one after that is going to have a lot of shell items, and I'm really excited for that one. So I have a lot of recording to do this weekend, just to make sure I stay on top of everything. And plus, I need to start getting these videos uploaded because, Lord have mercy, is my computer running out of storage. I have been looking to upgrade so that way I have more storage space, but unfortunately, because I have tried my 1 terabyte memory card as well, but unfortunately Animal Crossing videos and Nintendo and everything doesn't support the videos going onto memory cards. I've tried multiple memory cards, I've tried multiple times, and the videos just screw up. So there's not much I can do other than have them in storage on my laptop. But once I get caught up on some credit card payments, because yippee skippy adulting, I will be upgrading to a full-on desktop computer. My computer doesn't move, so I'll trade in my gaming laptop and just go full-on desktop. If anybody has any suggestions for a good desktop computer, I'm looking at Apple, I'm looking at Dell, which is what my laptop is. I think I'm going to stay away from Chromebook. Well, that was for a laptop. But I am not exactly the most technological person. As you can see, I'm trying to figure out the placement of the Plaza Train. As I did the outro, I still have not added anything for any cars on the back of it. So, like, anything with, like, plushies or anything on it, I still haven't done that. That will be something I will just probably use as a finishing touches type thing. You know, we'll go around the island, probably the video before the island tour, and just touch up areas that need a little bit more touching up. So I'll just start a list of things and we will go ahead and do that. Because for some reason I didn't do that when I added the extra bubble machines and everything in between the video and the outro. But that's okay. So here is where we are crafting the shell bed. As I will say in the outro, I was still uncertain about this because it doesn't light up. It was a little hard to figure out where I wanted it. You'll see me try it in a different... What word was that? Different spaces before I finally decide I'm just going to leave it in the center. But I did fly to a treasure island and I grabbed some floor lights, which actually help out a lot. I don't know why I didn't think about those before I started doing this build. But we all know at this point how my brain works. So I ran a lap to make sure you could get around the shell bed without having to do the wiggles, or the, as Melissaverse calls them, the wiggly wigglies. Pulling out a couple of street lamps for some more illumination, and we're going to put them on this side of the plant partitions, which the plant partitions are there just to hide some of the separation of the train code from the sidewalk code. Thought about doing them on the other side, but then the decorations with the castle gates would have been all screwed up and we wouldn't have been able to walk through. So I just left it like that. And we're going to get some white festive trees, some more shell lamps, And we're going to place those around. This is where I realized that I need the other pearlized shell lamp, so we finally got that put in. Put the illuminated present back down. And the white festive trees, which I also I really like. I think they're so cute. Again, checking to make sure I like everything. And we're gonna give the illuminated trees another shove because I'll kick myself out of my storage to check my DIYs. I'm gonna make myself a couple of shell partitions for right there next to the illuminated trees, and I'm gonna I customize the pink, which I think the pink for the shell partitions at least is very nice. It's not as bright as, say, the shell bed, which for some reason just screams pink and is a wee bit too much. Got that customized, and we're going to go ahead and put those down once I am, of course, done customizing. I am talking and looking away from my screen because I got cats walking around, so I got to make sure they're not getting into anything. Butters, my tan and white one, his favorite thing to do recently has been trying to get the birds that fly into the garage. And unfortunately, the window from my game room faces into said garage, and he has knocked down my stuff multiple times. Cracked the case for my Final Fantasy VII Rebirth soundtrack, which I'm still ticked about, but that's easy enough to just get a new case and swap it out. Back into the inventory to get some illuminated snowflakes, which I'm actually going to customize these into the rainbow. I don't know why I did. I don't think you could really even tell, but I wanted them to be different from the pink and blue ones that I already used. So we're going to pop those down. And I had to pick up the festive trees to be able to do this because of spacing issues, and I did not want to waste any miles by calling Rossetti to save me. But we are coming to the end of the build. I am going to send it back over to actual me and not voiceover me for the outro and the ending shots. So I will let you guys just listen to music to watch the end of this, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you later.
Alright, guys, we are done. Oh, that is not a flattering camera angle. Camera really does add 10 pounds. Anyway, we are finished with today's build. I am zoomed in like this, not to make anybody uncomfortable, but this is just the easiest way I can block out any of the build from my background. So we are going to go ahead and just take a look at everything. I didn't worry about turning the guide off or anything because, you know, who needs those extra details? Let's go ahead and take a walk through my entrance. You can kind of see it a little bit as we come up here. I'm still not thrilled about the airport, but it is what it is. I time traveled, so it's a little bit darker, so everything's lit up. And oh my god, do I love this. I'm so excited about this. The bubble machines, oh, it's beautiful. I am unsure about the shell bed right here in the center. I may end up switching it around, putting an illuminated tree there and putting some shell beds here, just because it doesn't really light up. But I don't know. I might do a Toy Day sled or something else because it kind of covers what's going on back here, which just at the ticket windows, you know, where you can buy your train ticket, is just a big festive tree with some Christmas gifts. But we just have a lot of illuminated items, the ruined pillars, ruined broken pillars, some ruined seats, plant partitions, all the fun stuff, a lot of ornament items. Jury's still out about what I want to put on top of these pillars. I may leave them blank. I may do more shell lamps. Still deciding, making sure I didn't put one on there because that would be embarrassing. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Welcome to 25 Days of Animal Crossing here on my channel. Our next video will take place just right out here where you can see my shed and stuff. We are going to be working on a highway type road build that's going to lead into the more town core neighborhood, whatever part of this. I'm still figuring that out. But I gotta go code shop for that. I gotta see if I can find a water road or something that I can use. But this is where I'm going to leave you guys for tonight. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you wish. And if you're just hanging out, that's fine too. But I will see you guys tomorrow for day 2 of 25 Days of Animal Crossing. And enjoy the beauty shots. Bye, guys!